Big City Farms is a part of a recently created, what are we referring to it as, like an urban growers collaborative that we're calling Indie Grown, that is comprised of 5 market gardens in Indianapolis. Big City Farms is the largest one. They range from about a half acre to 2.5 acres. And they've been around for, we'll say, on average 3 to 4 years. So Big City Farms, this is one of the 2 sites that we use. The other site is on about 5 miles northwest of here. Still well within the boundaries of Indianapolis, but in a sort of a completely different area. It's residential and sort of wooded and not next to a highway or train tracks or an old factory. So it's a total of about 2.5 acres that is currently under production. We're going to expand that away over the course of the next 6 months. So we'll be up to 3 acres by the beginning of next year. So we grow pretty much anything and everything. I don't know how many, probably 40 to 50 different crops, 100 plus varieties of those. Most of the produce, about 65% goes through a CSA that I run. It's 22-week CSA, about 75 members, and the remaining goes to local restaurants, about 4 to 6 restaurants a week. Our season runs from, we'll say, like late April through into December. So it's a pretty nice long season. At the moment, we don't do any really established season extension stuff as far as like high tunnels or whatever. I have recently purchased 2 high tunnel frames, one of which will go up here hopefully, another will go on the north side. So those will, I mean, they're fairly large, 85 feet by 18 feet, so they'll allow us to do some more winter growing. With pretty much all of these beds, they'll be at least cropped twice, some of them 3 times over the course of the year. We just sort of try and churn it out as much as possible. Irrigation. Let's see, so we use, the local utility here is called Citizens Energy. They have, essentially we rent a hydrant meter. We tap into the hydrants to be able to water stuff. It's not particularly fancy, I mean, it's pretty low tech, but it works very well. And water's super cheap, which is very nice. And it's always on. I mean, it's always available. It's not a well. So that's nice. I'm pretty careful about getting soil tests done from before I start, and then probably at least on an every 2-year basis, just to check in and see how things are going. With soil contamination, I've dealt with it in other parcels, and so I've become pretty adept at knowing what to do. There's also an amazing resource, if I can do a quick local plug. There's a professor at IUPUI, this guy Gabe Filippelli, who's like a national expert on like urban contamination and how to deal with it. And he's been a really tremendous advocate for urban growers, whether it's home gardeners or slightly larger market gardeners. And his big thing is that it's never like a absolute problem. It can always be fixed or addressed in some way. And so for the most part, with the techniques I've used is basically just trying to build up the soil as much as possible.